Hi students. So today we are going to discuss or we are going to study the module 4 of data mining and data warehousing, that is classification. So in this module we are going to discuss what are the different parts or what is the content of this module 4. One is the introduction to classification, decision tree induction, then methods for comparing classifiers, rule based classifiers, nearest neighbor classifier, Bayesian classifiers, and finally Bayesian belief networks. So let us start with the definition of classification. So this is the chapter is classification, basic concepts, decision tree and model evaluation. So classification, what is the definition of classification? Classification, which is the task of assigning objects to one of these several predefined categories. When you have a set of objects available and you have been asked to classify them based on their properties and attributes, so then classification is an important thing. So classification is nothing but the task of assigning objects to one of the several predefined categories. So we have several predefined categories available. To that category I need to assign a particular object. So by studying the characteristics of a particular object, I need to assign that object to a particular category. So I need to assign a particular object to a particular category based on the characteristics, based on the attribute values, based on the properties of a particular object. Okay, so now given a collection of records that is nothing but the training set, each record contains a set of attributes. One of the attribute is the class. So now given a collection of records, so now initially in the classification, what we will do, we will take a training set, we will take a huge number of data set. For example, I will take all the vegetables together. Okay, so I'll take all the vegetables, then I will classify them, either they are the leafy vegetables and non-leafy vegetables. Okay, so these are the two categories or the two class. One is the leafy vegetables and one is non-leafy vegetable. So now I'll train them. I'll study I'll apply some algorithm and I study them and I separate them into two different sets. One is leafy vegetables and another is non-leafy vegetable. So whenever an input is given to me, so one leafy or non-leafy vegetable is given to me, I'll give input to the system. So now the system should decide whether that a particular vegetable is a leafy vegetable or it's a non-leafy vegetable. So that is first part where we are training the set of the data set. A data set, a huge collection of the data items, that is called as training part. So whenever you give as an input, whenever you give an input to test to which class this belongs, that is called as testing. So each record contains a set of attributes. So every record will contain a set of attributes and out of those attributes you need to decide to which class a particular object belongs. Okay, so one of the attribute is the class, to which class a particular object belongs. So now here what I need to do is find a model for a class attribute as a function of the values of the other attribute. So now here I need to design a model for a class attribute as one function. Okay, and the input data for the classification task is a collection of record. That is, each record I need to take. The input for classification task is a collection of records. That is, each record I need to take and I need to give input to the classification. So this is one example where this is the block diagram, that is a classification model. So input is an attribute set and output is to which class a particular object belongs. So classification model will be before only it will be having a set of trained trained objects. So whenever you give input to the classification model with a particular attribute set, so this testing example is given as an input to the classification model. So this classification model, what it will do, it will try to match. Now it will search for these attribute values which are already, it will start searching for these attribute values whether it matches to any one of the attributes which are already present in the trained example. So if it matches to any one of the attribute, or if it matches to any one of the object which belongs to a particular class, then the output will be my class label. So that is Y. So now goal, what is the goal? What we need to do? Previously unseen records should be assigned a class as accurately as possible. So now you have a training set of data, and you have trained them, and you have classified them into two categories, either as non-leafy vegetables and leafy vegetables. So whenever you give an input, so consider, for example, if you give the input as the input attributes of a leafy vegetable, then that should be assigned only to the leafy vegetable. It should not go to non-leafy vegetable category. So if you give non-leafy vegetable category of the input, it has to go to the non-leafy vegetable category only. It should not go to the leafy vegetable category. So goal is previously unseen records. So you will be given with any unseen record. So whenever you give any unseen record to the classification model, so this classification model should be able to design, able to categorize that particular object, and it should assign a accurate class. It should assign a class as accurate as possible. Okay, a test set is used to determine the accuracy of the model. So that is nothing but the input. So input is given to the classification model. So whenever I give on giving the input to the classification model, and if the classification model is giving me a proper output, if it is giving me a accurate classification, if it is giving me the objects which belongs to a particular class accurately, then this test set is used to determine the accuracy of the models. And if your classification model is accurately assigning classes to the objects accurately, then your system or the classification model is said to be an accurate model. Usually the given data set is divided into training set and test set, with the training set used to build the model and test is used to validate, as I told before only. So initially we'll take a training data set, we will give it to the classification model, we'll take all the attributes and we will classify them into different classes. So whenever a test input is given to the classification model, so this classification model will match with the already present database. Wherever it finds the minimum value, so it will match to that class. And that is nothing but validation. So training set is used to build the model, whereas test set is used to validate it. So this is how a classification model works out. Now application. So what is the application of building such a classification model? So why a classification of the objects is needed? So example, detecting spam emails message based on the message header and the content. So based on the message header and the content, a spam email will be in the inbox, or it will be on your spam email. So if a message is coming from a sender who is not there in your contact list, or which is coming from any one of the advertising company, then directly that mail will go to the spam email. It will not be in your inbox. So your inbox will contain only those emails which are having a valid email ID and which are there in your contact list. So based on the header and the content, so what content an email is presenting, so if the header and the content of an email will decide whether that email is a proper email or it is an inbox. So categorizing the cell as malignant or benign based upon the results of MRI scans. So here malignant and benign. So whenever there is a disease present, usually we go for MRI scans, that is magnetic resonance imaging. So whenever we perform a scan of a particular part of a body, so we will we'll get some information related to the cell. We'll get the information regarding the cell, whether these cells are malignant or they are the benign. So based on the malignant or benign, a particular disease is either identified or it is in normal condition. Then classifying galaxies based on their shapes. So now this is another example. So here shapes are taken into consideration. So if a particular shape is there, then we will classify those galaxies based on their shapes. Categorizing news stories such as finance, weather, entertainment, sports, etc. So now if you open a newspaper, there are different types of the contents present in that newspaper. Some part of the news will be related to the finance, some part of the news will be related to the weather, some part of the news will be related to the entertainment, and some part of the news will be related to the sports. So now based on this data present, I need to separate, I need to categorize, okay, this data belongs to the finance category, this data belongs to the weather category, this data belongs to the sports category. Classifying credit card transaction as legitimate or fraudulent. So whenever you go for a transaction using a credit card or debit card, your transactions are monitored. You need to authenticate yourself that you are a valid user. So whenever you are operating with a credit card or a debit card, what is done? First your password is asked and one time OTP, one time password is sent to your mobile number. So if you are the authorized user, you will get the OTP and you will be knowing the password. Then your transaction is a legitimate transaction or it is a valid transaction. If somebody has stolen your credit card or somebody knows your credit card number or a debit card number and he is trying to operate on your bank account, then definitely he is going to try some of the expected passwords like your date of birth, like your name, something like that. Then when abnormal transactions, abnormal things happen, then that type of transaction is represented as fraudulent transaction. Okay, so now when you consider, for example, take a debit card, go to an ATM center. Okay, operate 3 times, you put the password wrong, your PIN wrong, transaction PIN wrong, then your debit card or credit card will be blocked for 24 hours. What does it mean? You are not doing a legitimate transaction, you are doing a fraudulent transaction. So in order to categorize all these things, that is the emails or in the medical application, to determine the type of the cells, then classifying the galaxies, classifying the news stories, classifying the credit card transaction, these are all the application where classification is most important. So next, coming to the general approach to solving a classification. What is a general approach? A classification technique or a classifier is a systematic approach to building. To building what? Classification models from an input data set. To building. So a classification technique or a classifier is a systematic approach to building a classification model from an input data set. Building a classification model from an input data set. So whenever an input data set is given, so classifier or classification technique, it is a systematic approach for building a classification model from an input data set. So each technique employs a learning algorithm to identify a model that best fits the relationship between the attribute set and the class label of the input data. So here the classification model or the classifier will have a learning algorithm. So we will apply certain learning algorithm to so your classification model will be having a learning algorithm. So this learning algorithm will first work onto the training set. When you give input, so the same algorithm is applied to the test set also. Then we will try to identify whether that belongs to a particular class or not. So each technique employs a learning algorithm to identify a model that best fits the relation between the attribute set and the class label of the input data. So now I need to take an algorithm into consideration. So before taking any algorithm to run a classification model, so I need to clearly understand the attribute set and the class label of the input data. The model generated by a learning algorithm should fit both the input data well and correctly predict the class label of its record it has never seen before. So now the model whatever you are developed for classification, so it will be having a learning algorithm. So this learning algorithm should fit the input data as well as it should correctly predict the class label of a particular class. So when you train, then also your learning algorithm should be able to properly classify the objects into different class. So when you give any unknown record as a test for testing the efficiency of your system, then also it should properly predict the class of that record, which as it has. So you are giving an input set or you are giving an input record which is never seen before, but still it has to predict that class. Okay, so therefore a key objective of a learning algorithm. So in any classification model, the key part of the classification model is the learning algorithm. So what is therefore a key objective of a learning algorithm is to build a model with a good generalization capability. What does it mean, a good generalization capability? That is, models that accurately predict the class label of a previously unknown records. So previously unknown records, so you have taken a set of records, you have trained them and you have classified them into class 1, class 2, class 3 and class 4. So whenever you give a new data which the classification model has not seen before, so then that is an unknown record. So when you give that record as an input to the classification model, it should exactly predict to which class it belongs. So consider, for example, so here the training set and the test set. So now how? So general approach for building a classification model. Okay, so here you have a training set, transaction ID 1, 2, 3 and 4 and attribute 1, attribute 2, attribute 3 and class. Okay, so now S large and 125k. Let us assume this is a transaction, whether the particular person has done a transaction on time or no. This is S and no, S no, S no. So this is whether a particular let us take for example a shirt, either it is a small, medium or small, and this is the salary of a particular person and to which class it belongs, whether he is performing the transaction at the right time and whether he is performing the transaction at wrong time, or he is not performing or he is not repaying back the credits. Okay, so now here is what your learning algorithm. So here is what your learning algorithm and here is the learn model. So now this training set input, I am giving it this learn model. So this is an induction, this is an input to the learning model, and based on these attributes, attribute 1, attribute 2 and attribute 3, different classes are assigned, either a class no or class S, and we have trained them and we have kept them everything into the model. Okay, so now this model, so now we will apply the model. So now we will take test set, we will take the test set. So now I need to predict to which class this belongs. So now you take attribute 1, attribute 2, attribute 3 based on the training set, compare this test set with the training set and that thing is applied to the learning model and we will be able to determine to which class they belong. Okay, so that is what the classification problem. Okay, so the classification or the training general approach for building a classification model. Okay, so now evaluation of the performance of the classification model, whether a classification model is performing well or no. So now I need to evaluate the performance of a classification model. It is based on the counts of test records correctly and incorrectly predicted by the model. So what is the performance? If you give 100 objects as an input to the classification model and all the 100 times it is giving the correct classification or it is classifying the particular object correctly, then you can say the efficiency or performance of the system is 100%. So if 100 times you are testing the system and only 50 number of times it is giving an accurate result, then the performance of the system or efficiency of the system is just 50%. So now it is based on the counts of the test record correctly and incorrectly predicted by the model. These counts are tabulated in a table known as the confusion matrix. Confusion matrix for a two-class problem. Okay, so now take class 1, actual class and predicted class. If actual class and predicted class both are same, then we call it as f of 1, 1. This is nothing but same class, and if the predicted class is same as the actual class, we call it as f of 1, 1. If predicted class, actual class is 1 and predicted class is 0, then it is f of 1 0. If actual class is 0 and predicted class is 1, then it is f of 0 1. If actual class is 0 and predicted class is also 0, then we call it as f of 0 0. So accuracy, then how we will find out the accuracy of a classification model? Accuracy is equal to number of correct predictions divided by total number of predictions. So how many number of times your classification model predicted correctly divided by the total number of predictions. So that is equal to f of 1 1 plus f of 0 0. F of 1 1 plus f of 0 0 divided by f of 1 1 plus f of 1 0, f of 0 1 plus f of 0 0. So this will give you the accuracy of your classification model. Then how will you calculate the error rate of your classification model? So error rate of your classification model is equal to number of wrong predictions divided by total number of predictions. So that is what f of 1 0. Actual class is 1, predicted class is 0. So then this is a wrong prediction. Then another thing is f of 0 1. So actual class is 0 and predicted class is 1. So this is also an error. So error rate is equal to number of wrong predictions divided by the total number of predictions, that is f of 1 0. F of 1 0 plus f of 0 1 divided by f of 1 1 plus f of 1 0 plus f of 0 1 plus f of 0 0. So this is, using this we will be able to evaluate the performance of a classification model. So whether a classification model is correctly predicting the class or no, whether the actual class is same as the predicted class or no. If actual class is same as the predicted class, then we call it as the accuracy of the system. If the actual class is different from the predicted class, then error rate, then we call it as an error rate. So most classification algorithms seek models that attain the highest accuracy. So now whenever we go for any of the classification algorithm, so whenever we want to develop any of the classification model, so I need to develop a classification algorithm that should attain the highest accuracy or equivalently the lowest error rate when applied to the test set. So we want to have a minimum error and maximum accuracy. So there are different types of the classification techniques. So one is decision tree method. The first one is the decision tree method, rule based methods, memory based reasoning, neural network, Naive Bayes and Bayesian belief networks, support vector machine. So in this module 4, we are going to study only the decision tree methods, rule based methods, Naive Bayes and Bayesian belief networks. Okay, so coming to the decision tree. What is a decision tree? The tree has three types of the nodes. So decision tree is having three types of the nodes. One is the root node, second one is internal node, and third one is leaf or terminal node. So a decision tree. So decision tree will be used to classify the different objects, to which class they belongs. So whenever you design, so whenever I am designing a decision tree, three types of the nodes will come into picture. One is a node that is called the root node, another is an internal node, and third one is leaf or terminal node. So let us see what is a root node. A root node that has no incoming edges and 0 or more outgoing edges. So root node is the point from where we start. It is not incoming edges and it is having 0 or more outgoing edges. So there is no input to the root node, but there may be an output. There may be or may not be an output from the root node. That is the point from where your decision tree starts developing. So internal nodes, each of which has exactly one incoming edge and 2 or more outgoing edges. So these are the intermediate nodes. So that is called as internal nodes. So decision tree in between, at the top you will have root nodes, and in between we have internal nodes. So what are these internal nodes? Each of the internal node will have exactly only one incoming edge. It will have only one input and 2 or more outgoing edges. Then leaf or terminal nodes, that is the end of the decision tree. So leaf or terminal nodes, each of which has exactly one incoming edge and no outgoing edge. That is the end. That is nothing but the leaf node will give you the class. A leaf or terminal node will give you the class, and internal nodes will give you a decision to which class, so in which direction I need to move the particular object. So leaf nodes will give you to which class a particular object belongs. So in a decision tree, each leaf node is assigned a class label. So that was only I was telling, leaf node or terminal nodes will give you exactly a class label. Okay, so in a decision tree, each leaf node is assigned a class label. So every node, which node? Every leaf or the last or the terminal node will be assigned a class label. The non-terminal nodes, which include the root nodes and other internal nodes, contain attribute test conditions. So leaf nodes or terminal nodes will give you to which class a particular object belongs. So before I decide to which class a particular object belongs, I need to test different conditions. So testing of the different attributes will be done where? It will be done at the internal nodes or it will be done at the root nodes. So in a decision tree, each leaf node is assigned a class label. The non-terminal nodes, which include the root and other internal nodes, contain the attribute test condition to separate the records that have different characteristics. So now non-terminal nodes. Which are the non-terminal nodes? Root and internal nodes. These are non-terminal nodes. What they do? They contain attributes test conditions. What they contain? They contain attributes test condition to separate the records that have different characteristics. In principle, there are exponentially many decision trees that can be constructed from a given set of attributes. So there are exponentially many number of decision trees that can be constructed. So when a given set of attributes are given, you can develop many number of a large exponentially growing decision trees that can be constructed. Consider, for example, here is a decision tree for a mammal classification problem. So now here we are taking into consideration so here we are taking the mammals into consideration, and I am going to decide whether it belongs to the class. So there is only one class, mammal or non-mammal. So here what are the different test conditions? So now body temperature is the root node, gives birth non-mammals. So these are what gives birth. Body temperature is what is again the root node, and here also condition is tested. And gives birth or no, here also a condition is tested. So now body temperature is the root node, whereas gives birth is an internal node, whereas the non-mammals, mammals and non-mammals, these are called as leaf nodes. So here body temperature is the root node. Here is exactly where the decision takes place. And next, another test condition, that is the internal nodes. Here also we are going to check one more condition, that is internal nodes. Here also I am giving a set of attributes. Based on that I am going to check to which class it belongs. So let us take, I want to classify a particular animal is either a mammal or a non-mammal. So first one is body temperature. So body temperature is the root node. So now here I am going to farm out. First I am going to check whether the body temperature is warm or cold. If the body temperature is cold, then directly it is a non-mammal. You directly classified it as a non-mammal. Now what you did? So here is two test conditions, warm and cold. If the body temperature is warm and body temperature is cold. So if the body temperature is cold, then directly you are classifying that particular animal as a non-mammal. This is N. This is a leaf node. You got exact classification. Then if the body temperature is warm, now again there is one more test condition, that is internal node. So now if the body temperature is warm, then it gives birth or no. It gives birth or no. If the particular animal gives birth, if it is S, then it belongs to a class mammal. So if it does not give birth, then it is non-mammals. Now means in non-mammals there are two types of the classes again. So one non-mammal is the one which is having cold body temperature, that directly classified as non-mammals. Some of the non-mammals are having the warm body temperature is warm. Then again one more test condition we are checking whether they give birth or no. So if they give birth, then that comes into the classification as mammals. If it does not give birth, then it is non-mammal. So this is a decision tree, how it is built for the mammal classification problem. So whether a particular animal is a mammal or non-mammal. So here a root node, body temperature is a root node, whether it gives birth or no is an internal node. Non-mammals and mammals, these are called as the leaf nodes. So consider, let us take one the same model I am using over here. So now let us take a flamingo is one of the animal. So the flaming animal. So whether I need to decide to which category it belongs. So here classifying an unlabeled vertebrate. So here there is one vertebrate that is given to us. So this vertebrate is a flamingo vertebrate is given to me. So what are the attributes given to me? So body temperature is given as 1, gives birth no. Now whether it belongs to which class I need to decide. So now this is the classification model we have developed for the decision tree. This is a decision tree what we have developed for mammal classification. So now we will take an unlabeled data set. So here unlabeled data set I have taken. So here vertebrate that is given is the flamingo. Okay, so now the body temperature, one attribute is body temperature which is 1, and whether it gives birth or no, it is no, then to which class it belongs. Okay, so here the classifying unlabeled vertebrate, the dashed line represents outcome of applying a various attributes test condition on the unlabeled vertebrate. This dashed line, what it gives, this dashed line will give you outcome after applying different test conditions. So the vertebrate is eventually assigned to the non-mammal class. So let us take the previous example. So now this only we will take and check it whether it is whether it will be able to classify properly or not. So now first is the body temperature. So what is the test condition? So body temperature is warm. Okay, body temperature is warm. This condition is true and this is false. Means it is not non-mammal. Still it is not classified. Now body temperature is warm. So now I need to test for another. So this is root node. So this is again internal node. So now I am going to check one more condition called as gives birth or no. So whether it gives birth or no, it is not giving birth. Flamingo does not give birth. Then if S, it is a mammal. Then no, it does not. It does not give birth. Then it is non-mammal. So to which class this particular flamingo belongs? The flamingo belongs to the class of non-mammals. Okay, so this is enough for this video lecture. So in this video lecture, what we studied is what is classification, what is the classification model, how a classification model works out, and what are the different nodes of a decision. Then we study different classification techniques like decision tree based methods rule. So there are the different classification techniques. So out of this we just look it onto the decision tree and decision tree how it works out. That all we looked into this video lecture. So this is enough for this video lecture. Then in next video lecture we will go for the Hunt's algorithm. Thank you one and all.